brings a lot of like he's a tough trainer, man, tough trainer, and he's got a lot of good things to show, like a lot of, and that's what it's about. You got to go to different places, experience different things, and everyone's got something new to show you. So I'm really enjoying the training that I'm getting down in with the likes of Alex Volkanovski, Colby Thickness, Joe, and all the boys down at Freestyle.
Let's get into it right away, man. You return to action March 5th, UFC 272. You'll be the showcase fight, man, on ESPN ahead of the pay-per-view. Did you sign a new deal along with this fight?
Yeah. Well, before I signed this fight, I signed a 5-fight deal with the UFC. So, yeah.
Okay, so did you fight out your contract previously, or did you have a couple fights left?
Yeah, no, I fought out my last contract. My first one was 4 fights, so that got all completed, and then we just signed this new one before accepting this fight.
So heading into the last fight, was there a lot of nerves? You know what I mean? Since you were completing your contract and you didn't have another deal in line?
I guess there was a little bit, yeah. It was like just more of an important fight, like just important to put a stamp on things for the end of the contract.
Definitely. And you started off your UFC career with back-to-back decision losses, and now you're riding back-to-back finishes. What can you attribute that to, the turnaround?
I think it's just all in momentum. To tell you the truth, like I've gained a bit of momentum now, and just I think also being comfortable being in the UFC, that was a big one. So once being comfortable, like in the UFC, like the jitters kind of went away. So yeah.
When did you notice that first? That you becoming more comfortable in that cage, in the octagon.
Well, I think going into that third fight against Karma Worthy, I was just like a little bit more familiar with how the UFC worked, and like that's all I can really put it down to. Just being a little bit more comfortable going into fight week, especially like going into that fight week. Uh, I'd been through it all like twice before now, so I was just just a bit more familiar with things.
Was the travel an issue in the first two fights as well? You know what I mean? Because a lot of fighters, they do go through that jet lag. People don't understand. I think that can be an issue for some fighters.
Yeah, well, Abu Dhabi was wild, man. Because we were obviously on a very different time zone, and to suit the American viewing, we had to fight at one. I think I fought at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a different kind of setup.
How did you acclimate yourself for that? Did you, like, ahead of the fight, did you start training at 1 in the morning? Did you even know
Yeah,
that during camp?
yeah, we did. We like so on fight week, we were just training at the around the time we'd fight, which was like, yeah, I think we were training about 2 a.m. So just to try and get used to that. So we were going to bed in the afternoon when the sun was still up. Just trying to like adjust to the time zone,
Well,
and it was hard. Like it was hard, and also going into a fight with no crowd. That was the first no crowd that I'd ever fought in front. Like first fight I'd ever fought with no crowd at all. So it was a little bit yeah, I wasn't really into it.
was it creepy, like you're going into a haunted house or something? Like you could hear everything, like the creaks and squeaks of everything?
Yeah, yeah, it was like just a bit eerie, man. Like it was like almost like walking into the gym, and it just didn't feel like I had that energy. Obviously I did. Like I had to. I knew I was about to fight, but just a bit of an eerie feeling.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that in this fight coming up, right? You'll be in front of a packed arena. Now you're facing off against Jalin Turner. Physically, he is very unique for the division. I just wanted to get your thoughts on him and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, he brings a lot of different threats to the table, man. Long rangy striker. So yeah, it'll be an interesting fight, that's for sure.
Turner, he's on a streak himself, you know what I mean? He's won 3 in a row. He's looked impressive. Have you noticed evolution in his style, or do you feel like he's just executing better?
I'm sure he's just evolving as well, evolving and like same with me, like getting more comfortable with the UFC, executing the game plan properly. He's looked good in his last few performances. So me and Jalin have actually been circling each other for the last
Yeah.
couple of years now. So because I was supposed to fight him in 2020 at the start of 2020, and I had to withdraw because I had a bulge disc in my neck. So yeah, I've wanted this fight for a while, and we've come 2 years later. We've gone full circle, and we're gonna get in and put on a show.
Definitely, you know, this is an exciting matchup. I just wanted to get back to the bulging disc in your neck, man. That's a major injury, man. How did you recover from that?
Yeah, I had a surgery, so I had to, and I it actually the surgery prolonged after I pulled out of the fight. So I pulled out of the fight when I got a scan done, because I started not to be able to lift up my left arm. That's when I thought, oh shit, something's going, like, because I had an impinged nerve in my neck, so that was running down my arm, and this nerve muscle running down my arm started to die, and I couldn't
Oh,
lift my arm up properly, and I was like, oh shit, I better go get this looked at. Then when the scan came back and there was a disc pushing in on my spine, and the nerve was getting crushed, obviously I had to withdraw from the fight, and I think I had surgery about 6 weeks after that, so I had to put up with it for another while. But yes, the recovery was good. Surgery went well, and I think it was like about a 10-week recovery, and I was back training.
was it better than ever? You know, sometimes when you get a surgery, like I had a bulging disc in my back myself, and I got surgery, and I haven't had a problem since, man. It's actually stronger.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling better than ever, man.
You mentioned the 2020 fight, right? Back in 2020. And it was like you had to pull out because of the injury, and your replacement was Josh Kulaba, you know, a training partner of yours from time to time.
Mhm.
You know, is he helping out with this camp?
Yeah, well, me and Josh do spar from time to
Mhm.
time, but we're not in the exact same gym. But we are getting rounds in, so it is good to get some rounds in with someone who's fought Jalen. He's
Mm.
been in the ring with him and experienced that. So yeah, it's good. It's a good help.
It's always beneficial, right, to have someone to kind of give you a bird's eye view of things to come, right?
Yeah, for sure, man, for
Um,
sure.
and this is your fourth training camp with Freestyle MMA. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, first the first one I wasn't actually fighting, but
Mm.
I helped Alex Volkanovski get ready to fight Max Holloway. So that was one, and then I've had two myself. So yeah, this would be the fourth one. Just the third fight camp for me.
Third fight camp for you. Do you
Yeah.
primarily do all your training at Freestyle, or do you have a couple other locations?
I'm sort of back and forth from my home gym, Central Coast MMA,
Mhm.
and Freestyle, but primarily I am staying down at Freestyle, uh, just getting the workload in there. So it's a good thing. Good thing we got going on.
Joe Lopez, you know, the master splinter, like they like to, you know, people like to call him.
Yeah.
You know, what does he bring to the table for you?
Man, Joe's unreal. He's a world championship coach. Brings a lot of like he's a tough trainer, man. Tough trainer, and he's got a lot of good things to show. Like a lot of, and that's what it's about. You got to go to different places, experience different things, and everyone's got something new to show you. So I'm really enjoying the training that I'm getting down in with the likes of Alex Volkanovski, Colby Thickness, Joe, and all the boys down at Freestyle.
Is it more of like the old school way of training with like a new school mindset, do you think?
I would say so. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it is. That's pretty bang on. They train super hard. But yeah, like you said, they're evolving with the game. They're very high level fight IQ. Always evolving and showing that next level. Always trying to get better. Always, I've noticed that the freestyle guys never um, are happy with what they're doing. They're always trying to get better and get better and better. Try, why does this work? Why does that work? So it's good.
What have you noticed in yourself, in the last couple of camps and just training with them and that crew, a certain aspect of your game that you've improved tremendously?
I wouldn't say a certain aspect in my game. I would just
Mhm,
say my all round game has been
mhm.
improving. And like I said again, momentum is real, and I'm really carrying that at the moment and keep the ball rolling.
Did you ever think after you fought Volkanovski in 2016 that he would be the UFC champion and you would be one of his main training partners?
Maybe not the main training partner thing, but I thought that he was going to go a long way, man. Um, he's just built differently. So I knew, and like you look at not just being the world champion, but he's in the running to be one of the greatest of all time, man. Like he's only ever had one loss at I think it was middleweight.
Yeah.
So his record speaks for itself. It's an unbelievable record, and yeah, he's it's not really a surprise to see him go all the way to the top.
Definitely, and you yourself, man. I don't think people give enough credit to how tough the Australian regional scene is, man. You do have some big wins coming up. If you go down through the names, man, I could pick out a couple: Josh Togo, uh, Jeff Molina, or Jesse Medina. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like Isaac Hardman, that I don't know if people remember him, man. He's a guy that boxes now, right? But he was one of the
yeah,
biggest up and coming guys, and you beat him. So that shows that you've cut your teeth right through the regional ranks.
yeah, man, yeah, for sure. And the Australian scene's only getting better. Um, but yeah, and I think that's the way to do it. I would never want to get into the UFC off a padded record and
Mhm.
a easy run into the company, because then when you get here, there's no easy fights.
Yeah.
So you want to be battle tested before you get in, and I'm well and truly battle tested.
Yeah, you are, man. You are, and you're showing it now with what you've been putting together the last couple of fights. Um, what are your expectations in this fight, man? Are like you've performed tremendously in your last two.
Yeah, I think this fight's going to be similar to my last fight. I think it's going to be a tricky first round. Um, but I think once I get in Jalen's face and let him know that I'm going to control the fight, I'm going to dictate the pace of the fight. It's going to go my way, and I see a late stoppage coming. To be honest.
Do you look at this fight as an opportunity for you to, bounce off this and get like a top 15 guy? Because it seems like both you guys are kind of in this upward trajectory of, cracking that top 15.
Yeah, for sure, I do. I think this is a really big fight for both of us, and
Mhm.
I'm looking to make it count. I didn't all come all this way for nothing. So, and I'm sure Jalen's the same. Jalen's the
Mhm.
exact same. But we're both standing in each other's way of that top 20, top 15. So, um, let's do it.
A couple more questions, man, before I let you go. MMA fans, they are crazy at times. They're unbelievable at times. What do you think MMA fans obsess about too much that fighters really don't care about in your eyes?
What do they think about too much? I would say that not what they think about too much, but I think that they like MMA fans are probably, as much as I love them all, um, they're just a little bit uh, critical for error. Like there's no
Mhm.
margin for error, because like we all can have bad days, and it doesn't mean that you're done. I think I heard Jamal Hill in one of his press conferences this week say like the fans can be crazy, man. They can like out of nowhere, like you can be doing so good and the smallest little slip, and everyone's like, oh no, he's done. He's done. He was never gonna make it or whatever. Like it's just kind of like crazy to me because it's such a a sport that anything can happen. It's such a crazy sport. So to foul someone that much on like just a little slip up or one bad night in the office, that's just the only thing that I see that fans can maybe ease up a little bit on.
Yeah, we see that a lot, man. You're speaking some truth right there. PTSD in combat sports, not CTS, but PTSD from maybe an injury or a bad weight cut or maybe even damage taken in a fight. Have you experienced this in the past and overcome it or seen it in other people around you?
No, I haven't experienced it. I think that might be like the same as when you get a bad knockout. Someone gets a
Yeah.
bad knockout, and man, I don't think it's something that can be taught. Like you either have it or you don't, where you're gonna be able to overcome that. Because deep, like I'm talking like deep in your brain, like molecular level, that's gonna be like in the back of your head. So you've either got that uh, right up here, like fight or flight, and it's just something that you have to overcome.
Definitely. And one last one. Kevin Lee, he got released by the UFC and was signed by Eagle FC, and they're going to pay him in crypto. What is your take on cryptocurrency, and would you ever consider getting paid your fight purse in crypto?
Man, that's out of my out of my ballpark. I know nothing about crypto, so maybe we'll see what happens. Like, so we'll never say never on that one.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Well, March 5th, man, you're back in action, UFC 272 in Las Vegas. Jamie, appreciate the time, man. Good luck on the rest of the camp and on the fight. Thank you so much.
Nah, thank you. Thanks for having us on.